Welcome to Country acknowledges our First Peoples, the custodians who continue their stewardship across our vast lands. We invite you to be our guests and make a true connection.
Ya welcome ya, Iorokan.
Aminjika.
Yap Helena.
Bro.
Nanga.
Capewell.
Gutharraguda.
Welcome to Gutharraguda country, guys. You're now in Kuyu Beach or Kuyu. Come on down.
Womanjika.
Chingiwala.
Welcome, guys. My name's Dustin Maloney.
All called to welcome you.
Natwa. Welcome.
Yalada Jangura. Garida. Kubriwara Bubu. Kuyu.
Koji Eagle.
Natamwa woman indie.
Hi, I'm Rhoda Roberts, a proud Widgeable woman and a member of the Welcome to Country Board. It is my pleasure to be here today to announce this amazing series of events. The journey begins with Welcome to Country. You can imagine the unexpected. You know, taking a First Nations travel experience is much more than simply just taking a photograph of our ancient landscape. It is about the depth of listening, witnessing the diversity of our cultures, the mystery of rituals, the food, the language, the story and the song. Up until the 8th of December, we're featuring a series of free online events, and we'll give you a sneak preview of 17 life-changing experiences. These are just a taste of what we have on offer. And so now I'm going to hand you over to your next cultural experience with some amazing guides from across the country. Enjoy.
Gutharraguda. Welcome to Shark Bay. My name's Capes and this is my daughter Helena. And we are with Gutharraguda Eco-Cultural Adventures. And we are based in the magnificent Shark Bay World Heritage Area. Tonight we'll introduce you to Gutharraguda. We'll also let you know about our business. Okay, we really want to encourage visitors to come and visit and check us out here in Gutharraguda, the Shark Bay World Heritage Area. Learn about us and learn about our beautiful backyard, eh?
Yep.
Now, what we're going to do first is you can see we've got 3 fish right here. These are in our local language called mulgada. They are caught locally here by a local Aboriginal net fisherman, Brother Gavin Poland and Brother Glenn Holt. They know more about this backyard, the salt water here, than most people, and what they generally don't know, we explain, is probably not worth knowing. What we're going to do tonight, Helena and me, we are going to cook these on this beautiful bed of coals. Okay, these fish, these mulgada, these are our favourite fish. Okay, we're going to cook those whole. They haven't been cleaned. The stomach and intestines are still inside, the scales are still on there. And what we're going to do, could you hold that stick for me please, Helena? Helena's my assistant, be careful there, don't fall off that. And what we're going to do is place these very gently, excuse me, and the head is facing into the heat, all right, like that, and like that. As I said before, these are going to cook in their own juice. They haven't been scaled, they haven't been cleaned, okay? This wood that we've got, this wood is really good firewood, and this wood is what we call wanyu. It comes from an acacia tree that grows in this red sand country. It's a bit hot. Comes from this red sand country, and this red sand country here represents the desert energy. We call this Buddhadu Maniwadi, red sand country. Over there you can see the beautiful light shimmering off this little lagoon. That's a salt water creek, that runs into the little lagoon here. It's one of our beautiful marine ecosystems here. Okay, these are a habitat for beautiful fish, shellfish, and the beautiful mangroves there, they're a natural filter system that filters the water. There's no pollution here. Everything's quite pristine, and that's the way we like it. And we really invite visitors from Australia and from overseas, but our Australians, we would like you guys to come and check our backyard out, learn about our Aboriginal culture and history, and learn about this place we call Gutharraguda. Gutharraguda means two waters, and it's in reference, Helena, to the two bays that dominate the landscape. And this place, Gutharraguda, has been traditional homelands for two Aboriginal groups, Nunda and Mulgana. And they have called, I should say, we have called this place home for over 20,000 years. The salt water you see here that dominates the bay has only been here probably within the last 7,000 or so years. 10,000 years ago, there was no salt water here. It was about 130 kilometres west of us during the last ice age. As the ice melted, the oceans rose and it filled the bays with water. And so today, we are called saltwater people because we live near the ocean. But we do have this beautiful red sand, don't we, Helena? Feel that, bub? Beautiful red sand representing the desert. So we have the desert energy and we have the saltwater energy. This place looks very good, but we say, as Aboriginal people, it's not what this place looks like, it's what it feels like. And we want people that come here for a visit, whether it's 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 years, we want you to feel the energy here in Gutharraguda. We want you to feel that red sand country. We want you to fill your belly with the fresh air. We say it's like a healing place, eh?
Yeah.
Makes you feel good inside. Makes you feel good. You feel good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes you happy. I feel really good. Always good when I can come out and do this. Tonight, me and Helena, or Helena and me, we're going to explain some of our creation stories here in Gutharraguda. And as I said before, we're going to explain what our Aboriginal connection is to this place. So come this way. Now, we'll keep an eye on those fish there, as you can see. That's quite hot there, probably might be a little bit too hot, but that should be okay. All right. Fire, we call fire garla in our ancient cultures and including our own Aboriginal culture. Fire is very, very important. We respect fire and we believe fire is a living energy. It's a living spirit. And we say that because, like us, fire needs oxygen to survive. We respect it. And one of the other ways we respect fire is you put a fire, understand the wind, where the wind coming from, if there's no wind, where to put your fire. Also, the type of wood that you need. So I mentioned before, this is an acacia we call wanyu. And that wood is really, really good wood. So you want a good fire, you need to have good wood. Because you got good wood, you'll get good coals. And this is good for cooking on, burn your medicine, keep you warm, give you light. All right, so beautiful wood there. Now, as I mentioned before, Aboriginal people, my ancestors, have been in this country for over 20,000 years. In this part of Australia, this place we call Gutharraguda. Where we are tonight is one of our old Aboriginal places where a lot of our ancestors have camped there on the edge of that creek, had the fire like this, cooked fish like that. All right. Now, before we was saltwater people, and when you travel through this place, you'll see ancient lagoons like this, but you'll see places where the water has disappeared and you're like got a clay pan. These clay pans are called biridas or birida, and we believe that they are the footsteps of our creators that came down here and give us Aboriginal law to be able to look after this place we call Gutharraguda. Because our law is like the oldest conservation framework on the planet. It's the law of the land, not the law of man. And it's always about making sure that we respect nature or country, or as we call it, ngura. So that's our number one job. And tourism allows us to be able to do that. It keeps us on country, all right, and allows us to look after country, allows us to keep our stories, introduce our kids to their culture, all right, so they know their cultural responsibilities and their cultural identity about looking after country. So these biridas, or birida, as I said, they are the ancient footsteps of our Creator that came down here and travelled through country and give us our Aboriginal law. The law has been here so that we can look after country. Now, when the water was all fresh water, we have a story about our saltwater story, and that involves a lizard we call Jubby, or the thorny devil lizard. And our story is that before that lizard had thorns, he was a handsome, beautiful, handsome lizard. Very fast, beautiful, smooth skin. And he used to be here. And that fella used to also drink the water from the water hole. But he used to be too greedy, and he drank too much water. And all other animals, they didn't like that. And so they yutted no Jubby. They told him off for being too greedy, and not respecting nature. But when they did that, that lizard got a bit angry with him. And when he got angry, he done a gumbo in the water. Gumbo in our culture means to do a pee. And when he did that, the water turned salty and turned no good. So as part of that lizard's punishment for not respecting country, he's now no longer allowed to drink water. And on his skin, he's got all these thorns, make him look ugly. And all the other animals, they see that fella and they say, he's been punished, because they can see all them thorns. And today, that lizard is very slow. He's no longer fast, and he's no longer allowed to drink water. So you'll never see that lizard drinking water. What he does is he puts his feet there and he pumps the water up in through his capillaries into his mouth. And he's only allowed to eat mingers, or ants too. That lizard looks very dangerous, but he's not dangerous. He's a winyarn, he's weak. And we always say, you never take that lizard, that thorny devil, from the place where you find him. If you take him from where you find him, you break his connection to country, and he'll die, and that's no good. So always we tell our kids, pick him up, have a look at him, but put him down where you find him. All right? And that's our saltwater story. And if you look way down the bottom, there's a emu walking across. I'm not sure if you can get that shot, walking across the creek. So these emus like to cross here. In the morning they'll come across, and in the afternoon they'll go back. Saltwater emu from Gutharraguda. All right. What we can do is, if you come back over this way, Helena, come with me please. We're going to check these fish, so just be careful of the fire. Come and stand up here. Dad will check these. You can smell them. Oh, smell good too. Now, which one did I put on first, bub? Stand over there.
I think it was that one.
This one here on the end?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll turn him over. Oh, look at that. So that's cooking there. Nice yellow fat coming out.
It looks like it's corn on him.
Yeah. And when you cook them like this, as I said, oh, lovely. This fella's name is Mulgada. Our Aboriginal language name, Mulgada. That's our favourite Aboriginal fish. And all of our families and everyone, they ask us. Shark Bay mullet, Shark Bay Mulgada, is revered all over Western Australia. All over, from the desert to the north to the south. All of our family, that's the first thing they ask. Any Mulgada? Any mullet? Yeah. And then once they're cooked, what we'll do is we'll put them on this bed of leaves. These leaves are taken from a ngaya tree or a wattle tree. We call those our eco plates. Our eco plates. If you go in closer, you can hear the fish sizzling. Like that. Now, what we are going to do, we're going to explain, come this way Helena, we're going to explain a saltwater turtle dreaming story we call Buyangura Wangarenyana. Buyangura is our turtle. And we say in our story that the turtle used to walk on land. The turtle used to walk on land on 4 legs. okay? He had no shell on his back. And that turtle, Gutharraguda, used to walk along the shoreline and he used to look for berries which get washed in and out with the tide. And Gutharraguda, the turtle, would go in further into the water looking for these berries, and all the other animals used to watch the turtle, Gutharraguda. And they used to say, be careful, Gutharraguda, you're getting too greedy for the berries. You might get stuck in the water. You fall in there in that widia, you might get stuck in the muga. Muga means deep water, but the turtle didn't listen, eh? And he kept going in looking for the berries until one day he slipped and got caught in the water. And so today we'll draw a turtle here. And so today you can see the turtle, all right, and the turtle now, that's his flipper there, bud. The turtle there, all right, is stuck in the ocean. And today's legs have turned into this flippers, like that. All right, and on his back you'll see the turtle now has this shell, like that. And the pattern of that shell represents the berry that the turtle used to eat. And so we say in our story that the turtle carries a shell as a reminder that he's been punished for being too greedy for that berry. Now we say this turtle, even though it's in the ocean, this turtle is a land animal. And we say that because, where's the turtle born?
It's born on the land.
The turtle's born on land. When the turtle dies in the ocean, the body gets washed up to the beach. And that's the spirit of the turtle coming back to the land where he come from. Gutharraguda, from land. So we say the turtle is a land animal. But he's just stuck in the ocean as part of his punishment, once again for not respecting country. That's our saltwater turtle dreaming from Gutharraguda. These stories come from this country, Gutharraguda, so we can share those with you. We can share those stories with you. And when you come this place, Gutharraguda, these are the stories of this country. These are the stories of this country, Gutharraguda. And we don't want people, just to come and see. We want you to feel. We also want our visitors, especially you Australians, to learn more about Australia and learn more about Australian Aboriginal cultural history, because it is the oldest story on the planet.
Yep.
Come from the oldest country, Australia. Unbroken. All right? Unbroken. The only place you can get that Aboriginal story from Australia is coming to look at some of our Aboriginal cultural tours all around this beautiful country. We represent Gutharraguda, the furthest western point in Australia. When you come here, you'll be travelling across many other different countries. Don't travel as a stranger. When you stop somewhere, always say your name and introduce yourself and say hello to our ancestors. You might seem silly, like you're talking to nobody, but we believe you're talking to everybody. One thing we always believe as Aboriginal people is nature or country can talk, but also country listen. And we always believe that our old people or our ancestors are always listening and watching what we do, including here today, now. All right? Now, oh, that fish smells good. Fish smells good. I'm going to get one. You want one?
No.
Okay, I'm going to have yours. All right, come this way. Can you smell them?
Okay.
Do you know what our name for this is? Mulgura. 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 Mulgura is mullet. This water here is pure, it's clean, unpolluted salt water. And these fish are also beautiful. Not like ones that are full of mud or anything like that you might find in the river systems. These here are beautiful, lovely. I also sit on an Aboriginal tour board called WATOC, or the Western Australia's Indigenous Tourism Operators Council. And we've worked very, very hard with Aboriginal people and non-Aboriginal people, and also our partners both in Australia and overseas, to develop and create authentic Aboriginal cultural tourism experiences. And this is the best time now for our fellow Australians to come out and experience what we've been experiencing. Don't just see country, but feel country. Put it inside you. All right? Because all of us, it's not about seeing nature, it's about feeling nature. From these little kids, these little mayus, to us adults. And my Aboriginal brothers and sisters, and my non-Aboriginal brothers and sisters in tourism, we open our hearts, we open our back doors and front doors, and we'd like to invite you guys to come and see Australia and to feel Australia like we see it and feel it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try one of these, Helena. Which one do you reckon? All right, this one here I might. So, whoa. You've got to have not asbestos fingers or anything like that. Here, bub. So if you come in here, that's a bit hot. So just be careful. All right, so this here's cooked in its own juices, and all you're doing is like you're unwrapping a present. And this is my present. Oh, you can smell that, it's beautiful. And you're just peeling the skin off like that. So as I said, this fish is cooked in its own juices. Like that. Lovely, look at that. Beautiful white flesh. You want some? It's hot, babe. Hang on. So, the skin we can use as a little bit of a plate. There you go, bub. Try that. Do you want to try it? You got some? So, after this, I encourage you guys to hang around. Maybe go and get some popcorn. If you've got fish like this, grab that. Sit back and watch the next show coming live from the Sydney Opera House. Urawanga. Talk to you later. Catch ya.
Bye. We'll see you again on the next video what we make.
And hopefully we'll see you here. And you can see a beautiful West Australian sunset. Come and check it out. Wooda!
Welcome to Country acknowledges our First Peoples, the custodians who continue their stewardship across our vast lands. We invite you to be our guests and make a true connection. Man, and it's run by Aboriginal staff.
All Australians should be passionate about our own country, and Aboriginal culture is a key part of that.
We are the original storytellers, and if everyone understands that message, I think that we'll have a far better future for all of Australia.
It's about learning and connecting.
As we know, it's the oldest living culture in the world.
Simply is the premier site to find amazing experiences and great products around Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Australia.
Got to have a great website. So what was needed was to have a common platform that could do the marketing, the sales, all those things that small businesses, whether they're Indigenous or not, struggle over. So people can focus on the thing they're passionate about and deliver that business.
It's about creating employment and economic opportunities for the community. That's the number one thing.
The best thing is by purchasing from us, they are directly giving back and supporting Indigenous communities, artists and their families.
The key is to enable them to stay on their country or in their city and be able to give them a platform to really flourish and create self-sufficiency.
It is basically self-determination and learning about country through the narrative of our lens.
We're not doing this because we want to put money into our pockets, but rather we want to see community benefit from what we're doing.
We want to be able to show that we're in control and managing our stories. We want to be able to share those stories, and we want to be able to create our own jobs and create our own economies.
For me and my wife's business, we've got the daughters all working. When we started, we had the brothers involved, we had the aunties involved, we had the uncles involved. Yeah, so we show them what Paraka look like and get them to throw a spear also as well.
We're rich in culture and history, and I said we need to share that because that's where we're going to get changes.
It's a great initiative, you know, really connecting with Indigenous tourism, grassroots people, teaching culture and educating people.
This is a form of livelihood, it's independence, it's self-esteem, and it brings pride.
Now that I'm here working for Dreamtime for the last 2 years, I've actually became a Master Reef Guide.
You know, some of us are really reaping the benefits of that in terms of employment, you know, self-empowerment, you know, self-sustainability, economic development in our communities.
It is really time that this country started to embrace the importance, the knowledge, the power and the beauty of Aboriginal culture.
I have always wanted for non-Indigenous people in this country to actually experience, meet and connect with Aboriginal people.
When you visit a destination, you hear that local story, you feel the seasons, you witness the passion that people have on the land that has been there since time immemorial. There's nothing quite like it.
Anytime any Australian's looking for an Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander cultural experience, the first thing they'll think of is welcometocountry.com.
To continue your journey and make a true connection right across Australia, visit us at welcometocountry.com.